Good morning and welcome to the Morning Outlook. I'm Rachel Jones reporting live from Calcine TV Sydney studios. Today we'll give you an insight into how the markets closed on Friday and take a look at how the markets fared across the world. The Aussie market finished the week with an improvement, with the ASX 200 closing 36 points or 0.5% higher at 7,523. The index managed to snap a two-day losing run and lifted for the first time in September. With Friday's improvement, the ASX 200 climbed 34 points or 0.46% last week and made it two weekly improvements in a row. It's also lifted for 4 of the past 5 weeks. Today, the Australian share market's expected to open on a positive note on their last trading day after US stocks moved higher overnight. Helping to drive the market on Friday was the performance of the resources sector. While most sectors are improving, materials are leading the market, despite a mixed performance for commodity prices. Both gold and iron ore were weaker in the overnight session. Rio Tinto managed to add 2.5%, while BHP rose 1%. Energy was also firmer as global oil markets added 2%, with traders confident the global oil market can absorb additional supply from producers, while Hurricane Ida has restricted production in the US Gulf Coast. The healthcare sector was another support for the markets, as were financials, with the National Bank and the Commonwealth Bank leading the big four banks higher. IT, consumer staples and communications ended in the red. In today's news, Victoria's lockdown restrictions are set to ease sooner than expected. The state is gearing up to trial extra freedoms for vaccinated residents. In New South Wales, more than 1 in 10 people with COVID-19 now end up in hospital, and Sydney is bracing for a spike in numbers across the coming weeks. Moving on to company news now, BGH Capital has withdrawn its non-binding acquisition proposal for Hansen Technologies. The company had planned to acquire all of the outstanding shares in Hansen by way of a scheme of arrangement for the price of $6.50 cash per Hansen share. Discussions with the BHG Capital Group in relation to the proposal have now stopped and the deed has been terminated. Enterprise software firm Technology One finished 3.5% higher, having agreed to acquire a UK company called Scientia Resource Management, which services the higher education sector. It will cost approximately £12 million. Clearview Wealth has announced a strategic review of its business, including the potential for a takeover. The company has the support of its largest shareholder, that's Crescent Capital Partners. Their shares added 13%. On the economic front, retail spending for July was 2.7% weaker than in June, while it was down 3.1% compared to a year ago. Online sales managed to soar 19.3% to record highs in July. Chinese services PMI for August fell to 46.7 from 54.9 in July, the lowest reading since April 2020. In US economic data, non-farm payrolls employment rose by 235,000 in August. The unemployment rate fell from 5.4% to 5.2%, while the average hourly earnings rose 0.6%. The ISM Services Index eased from 64.1 to 61.7 in August. European share markets eased on Friday, with the weak US jobs report weighing on retail and travel stocks. The Pan-European Stock 600 index fell by 0.6%. The German DAX index and the UK FTSE index both lost 0.4%. In London trade, shares in Rio Tinto were flat, while shares in BHP rose by 0.6%. Back in America, tech stocks rose, but bank stocks fell. The Dow Jones index fell by 75 points or 0.2%. The S&P 500 index lost 1.5 points or less than 0.1%. But the Nasdaq index rose by 32 points or 0.2% to a record high. Over the week, the Dow fell 0.2%, the S&P 500 rose 0.6%, and the Nasdaq rose by 1.6%. US longer-term Treasury prices fell on Friday. Yields were higher as traders focused on the sharp lift in wages during August. Major currencies were stronger against the US dollar in European and US trade. The euro rose from lows, was near 1.1882 US dollars at the US close. The Aussie dollar lifted from lows near 74.15 US cents to highs near 74.75 US cents and was near 74.58 cents at the US close. The Japanese yen firmed from near 110.05 yen per US dollar and was at 109.73 at the US close. Global oil prices fell to 1% on Friday. The weaker than expected US jobs report raised doubts about the economic recovery and therefore demand for oil. Meanwhile, data showed that 93% of daily crude output in the Gulf of Mexico remained suspended. The Brent crude price fell by 42 US cents or 0.6% to $72.61 a barrel. And the US NYMEX crude price fell by 70 US cents or 1% to $69.29 a barrel. Over the week, Brent crude fell by 9 cents or 0.1%. Base metal prices were mixed on Friday. Tin fell 1.5% and lead lost 0.8%. Nickel rose 1.6% and aluminium rose 1.1%. Over the week, tin, lead and zinc fell by up to 2.4%, while other metals rose by 4.1%, led by nickel. The gold futures price rose by $22.20 an ounce, or 1.2%, to $1,833.70 an ounce. Spot gold was trading near $1,826 an ounce at the US close. Over the week, gold rose by $14.20 an ounce, or 0.8%. Iron ore rose by $5.35 an ounce, or 3.8%. Over the week, iron ore fell by $14 a tonne, or 8.8%. That's all from the Morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading and stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.